Club. We're here at our new IHRP facility, which stands for In-House Recovery Program. We've been open for a week and a few days, and we have 80 beds to fill in San Antonio. So if you know anybody in recovery that needs recovery, that needs an inpatient type setting, be sure and send them our way. And the website's on the banner, and my phone number is on the website. So you can go to that, find out information, fill it out, and we will reach out to you. Hey, Mike. Oh, I have Mike here today, by the way. How about you?
I'm sorry. You're not the first person.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm great.
Yeah? Good. What's been going on?
I work here.
What's been going on?
I work here.
Okay. Oh, you work here?
I do.
They hired you.
You hired me. I didn't even have to do an interview process.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You've been interviewing since 2018. You just didn't know it.
Okay, cool. Well, that works.
Yeah.
Now that I know.
Well, so one of the things that I wanted to do was surround myself and people the residents that are going to be here with people that I know that would love them so they love themselves. Right. Because that was a key factor in my surrounding. Was that, the place I went, I really didn't care too much for myself, and I didn't like myself at all. But they kind of loved me till I loved myself and discovered who I really was. So I wanted to make sure that the people that I put in place are that. And I think that you can do that today. Well, just kidding. You got it.
Someday, this guy.
We joke around all the time.
He's got jokes. All right. What made me love myself finally was going to prison and realizing that it got to that level. The overdoses, none of that stuff got me to that level. What got me to that level was having my freedom taken away and being able to work on myself. I was in there. I didn't subject to all the bullshit that was going on. I didn't do any of that stuff. I kept to myself. I read the AA book probably 25 times in 16 months, and kept to myself and worked on myself. When I got arrested November 30th of 2023, they put me in a holding cell at court, and I prayed to whatever God was listening to, God's, whatever was listening to me, and to do whatever they needed to do. And when it came down to it, they gave me a $190,000 bond on a possession case in Birmingham, and I was like, yep, I'm going to prison. Mm-hmm. So I already knew what was going on with that. And I got out and I hit the ground running, and I've been going ever since. I have 2 years on December 1st.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. It is coming up. It's coming up a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. When I got released from prison in March, it was March 24th, I had a monitor on my leg. I had it for about 5 months. I couldn't do anything. And then finally they took it off because my parole officer told me that we were fully rehabilitated in prison. And I almost cried when I was there because I'm probably the only person she's ever said that to.
Yeah, very few. Very prisons are really designed the way they should be.
Right. I got out not wanting to go back.
Well, so it sounds like that, and this is probably true for me too, because it took a little bit of incarceration to get me where I was. But my overdoses, all the embarrassing things I did to say, all the hearts that I broke, the records that I caused, and everybody. I was freaking, talk about Tasmanian devil going through the world. I was ripping everything apart, and there were some serious events that happened, but it was not enough to change me. I think like 3 prisons or me incarceration for a short period of time was what it took to home was.
Oh, that was my defining moment.
Right.
That was it right there.
Well, yeah.
People always talk about it had substance. What was it? What did he say from the doctor's opinion? It had to have depth and weight. Yeah. Like the message that I got when they told me that I was going to prison, I couldn't bond out. My mom was going to put her house up to bond me out. I told her don't do that because I'm probably not going to go to court if I get out the first month of meeting. And then when they gave me a plea agreement for 3 years on a third-degree felony, I called my attorney on January 25th of last year. I said, hey, come on up here tomorrow, bring the paperwork, I'm ready to sign. Because there was no way out of it. That's what my gods did for me. And I refer to gods the way that I do because I believe in the Norse gods, the old gods, And it's keeping me somewhere. It's helping me. You know, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I'm doing this, I'm managing a sober house. I mean, everything, all the things came together. You know, I was able to get a vehicle when I got out after saving money or doing whatever. Now that I have a job, I'm gonna upgrade my vehicle. Like I'm gonna do different things like that because I've never been an adult before.
I understand. I can relate to that. And the funny thing is that when I got sober, and I supposedly had never really been an adult before.
Right.
I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, maybe, well, it was longer than that. Let's say 5 years ago, maybe longer, I got a credit card.
What's that?
Yeah, which I was a credit card for a lot, right? And the next thing I knew, I got another credit card.
Right.
I'm like, this is cool, I need a credit card.
Right. That's called adulting.
Right.
But it's actually called adulting when you make the payments on the credit cards.
Anyway, I was making payments. I never missed any payments.
Right.
And what I ended up doing was charging it to the house. Not really paying attention. I didn't understand the interest, things like that, right? And I got myself in trouble. And I was telling my wife, I'm like, well, this credit card thing is getting out of control for me. I got to get a handle on it. And she's like, how could you let that happen at your age? And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up.
Like I'm
only about 18 years
right,
old.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, this time I was like 14 years old, battling my emotions, having different things like that. And talking about emotions, I'm actually able to approach a woman and be a friend now and see what goes from there. I've never been able to do that, but I want to. And I am right now as we speak. That's what I'm doing. You know, and that is not my MO. Like if you know me like you say you know me, that is not my MO. Okay?
That's okay. So you have to understand when Mike says I met somebody, my eyes go like that.
Right. Here we go again. Well, I like you're like that because every relapse story that I have starts with, well, I was with this chick, you know, and I met her in treatment. I always left treatment with a girlfriend, and like I didn't leave prison with a girlfriend, by the way. You know, just doesn't work like that. But some people it does. But now I'm able to be a friend. I'm able to see where it goes and progress and whatever. And the reason I'm able to do that is because for the first time in my life, I finally love myself. And what comes with loving myself is having respect for others and giving them the time they need if something's going to happen. And then I've got so much love in my body, and it's ready to explode out. You know.
About the love thing, I was telling you that when I first got into recovery, I kind of love until I love myself.
Yeah.
I think when we learn how to love ourselves, truly love ourselves, right? I think that's when we have that switch. Because for me, because of the things that happened, all my whole life, love sex.
Oh yeah.
That's
called lust.
Well, no, but for me, that's what love. So, I equated any partner or anything like that, it's equated that way in my mind. But when I learned how to love myself, then like you said, I was just full of love. I still am.
I am today.
But I don't think about the other things,
Yeah.
I just, I'm like you, I can have friends of the opposite sex that I don't think I'm not cool with.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? What the hell happened? But I know what happened is I'm finally for the first time taking recovery seriously.
Right.
And it all started with, doing my first step and then holding myself. I did it because I was like, all right, I'm done with this shit. I am an alcoholic until I got of the hopeless variety. And it took a divine intervention to get me to where I am today. Did I think when I got out of prison in March I was going to be sitting in a treatment center working, managing a sober house on the board for a nonprofit, going to school and getting A's and B's now?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
What the hell is going on?
What did you get in English?
A 94%.
Yes, that's tough.
That is tough.
Yeah.
It's not what you think. It's not because we speak English, we know what's going on.
Exactly.
But it was cool that I had a professor that let me take every essay that I wrote and make it personal. The first one I wrote was my road back to recovery, my relapse, prison, and where I'm at now, and I did like 5 pages. And then the next one, the word was honor that I picked, and I had to show examples of it. So what did I do, being Norse pagan, is I went off of the Jarls in like Norway and Sweden back in the day, they had to have honor. You know, my third favorite is like I was pro for legalizing marijuana everywhere because I know its benefits. I can't use it because if I use marijuana, I'm going to drink, I'm going to do heroin, I'm going to do meth, and I'm going to wake up in a hotel in New Mexico and I know how I got there. You know, that's just my story. That's how shit works for me. And in my final paper, I wrote about the rise of paganism, and I did 10 pages. You know, this was not me before school. I was just doing school just to do it. Now I'm doing school to, yes, of course, do it. But I graduated in May with my LCDs. And I'm going to be sitting here being an addiction counselor.
Yeah,
You know, doing something that I love because I come into work when I do, and this isn't a job. You know, it used to be a job when I worked at SARC or I worked at Haven for Hope at PCY. Oh, it was a job just to get a paycheck. I come here because I genuinely enjoy. Like every guy that's watching right now over there, I see a little bit of me in every single one.
yeah, me
You know?
too.
And that gives me the ability to talk about it and help and do different things like that. I've never lived a life this way. I've never.
Well, you know, I used to have that feeling when I got up to go to work. It was like not a job, but then the job I had previously kind of turned into a job.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with the place, nothing like that. It's just,
But your attitude.
I think it was God that was moving me towards something else, right? And so I quit my job July 3rd with a 3-year plan, okay? And, you know, God had other plans.
Of course.
This was my 3-year plan. I thought I had 3 years to prepare. And it's like 4 months later, here it is. I'm like, oh my God.
We reconnected like 5 months ago and you told me about all this. And I told you I'm in this till the wheels fall off.
Right.
Because I love it.
But it didn't become reality until last week.
Yeah. We were talking about that. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was sitting in that office. I think it was last Friday night. I think we were sitting there, you know, talking.
And it just hit you.
And it just hit me like, oh my God, you know, this is great. And so now, when I wake up again, I'm all excited. I'm happy. I got energy. I don't like dread the getting up, right? And it's just for that reason because this is not a job for me. This is what I do. This is what I breathe with my higher power to do for the entirety of what I got left is to help people. And man, at times I'm very I can't believe that he's used me as a vessel to provide so much for so many people. And you know, I want to keep it going, and I feel comfortable that it's going to work just fine. We have a period of time, I think, between now and January where we do have a deficit, you know, and hopefully we can find a way to bridge that gap. And anyway, so one of the things I'm going to be doing, you can go to the website and see it. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm working on it, but I'm going to set it where people can, so they can donate to Opportunity Recovery Group, like $10 a month. And after 2 months, we'll send them one of these great Opportunity t-shirts. And we also have another t-shirt that we're going to, I think I've seen in the spiritual dance.
Yeah, you wanted me to wear that. I told you no.
It's the right color.
It's the same color. Yeah, but even though we don't play today, I still.
And I let you know what's the dress code.
Yeah, of course you do.
If it's out
I do what I want.
If it was Alabama, if it was Alabama, you'd be fine.
No,
That's in the actual thing. If you wear Alabama, you get an extra $1.
I never got that. Just kidding. I never got that booklet.
Just joking on an extra $1. Nobody owed me do that. You didn't get that book.
I didn't get it. I don't think I needed it.
You guys got to realize that me and Mike have been giving each other a hard time about, you know, his Notre Dame place, my little tight Alabama place. And since the day I got in, or somewhere where I don't know if I got there first or you got there first, but when we met in Tribune,
You were there first.
it was I don't know what game, but we said something about Notre Dame. And me and him's been had it ever since.
Oh yeah, for what, 7 years?
Yeah. Almost 8. Almost 8. Yeah, it was like 8 for a couple months. So and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great.
So
We get to do shit like this because of our lives.
well, I'm glad to have you on board because of the fact that, you know, I need people that love me.
Yeah.
People that have that love me.
And like I said, I can do that. I finally look in the mirror and like what I see. I even went and got my hair did.
Yeah, I told him to wear a hat, and his hair looks good. It does. It looks good. I like it.
Well, thank you.
What about my hair?
It's peppery and bald.
Peppery, no. There's no balding. I keep it close.
Go like this.
I keep it close. That's always good. I've always done it.
5 days.
Huh? 5 days. Yours too. Yours go back quite a bit.
It doesn't matter.
You'll lose your hair before I lose mine.
Okay. I'm making a cash
And I don't have any gray hair. No, I don't have any gray hair.
It's silver.
I would admit, yeah. I call it a sexy sheen of silver. There's a, yeah. So I tell people I'll never have gray hair. But yeah, and then I can't, I try to grow a beard, you know, and it gets out to a certain length. And I see some guy that's got the old white beard, you know, the old guy, and I'm looking at him and I think,
You don't want to be that guy.
so I don't want to be that. So I go home and shave, and I have to have a beard, right? And it turns so white. And it's like, yeah.
You don't want to, do you?
Why? Because you're old. No, that's not why. I'm not old. I'm not old at all. It's how you
We're fresh.
look for it. Right. It's how you feel here. And it's amazing when Debbie mentioned that because my 11th grandchild was born Thursday. Named Jeremiah Jack. Okay, so 11. Yeah. 11 grandkids.
You don't have to pay grandparent child support anymore after 10.
Gosh, no, I'm just kidding. But the thing is, not only do I have 11 grandchildren, but I got 2 great grandchildren. And that makes me feel so blessed because
That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say it makes me feel so old.
no, it makes me feel totally blessed. How many people in this world can say they're great grandparents and still have it?
Very true.
You know, so
Very true.
I'm so blessed and so grateful that I have that ability. You know, yeah. But I'm much younger than what all that indicates.
I told my son while he's in college, we don't need no college degrees. Because he's at Arizona State.
You hedged him?
I told him. I
told him to have a
checked
baby.
it. He's my son.
You told him that today?
I told him not to have babies.
No,
That's-
he's in college. You tell him not to do it, they're going to do it, especially.
They
with
make
taxes.
protection. They make protection. And they sell it in Arizona too.
If they don't get mad at me,
I'm not mad. I'll be happy to
say,
get
you know,
it.
Tyler, I gotta go to Arizona. My son's girlfriend's having her first ultrasound.
Oh,
do that. But, you know, it's funny that, you know, kids do darn things. Yeah, they do. So what do you think about this place?
I like it. I do. I really like it. It's going to be big enough for 80 people.
Yep.
I mean, I still have anxiety thinking about like how like 80 people are gonna like. There's not seating for 80, but not everybody's gonna be out there. Everybody's gonna have their own thing. Everybody's going out and everybody's doing stuff like that. Yeah. I like it. I mean, obviously for the amount of hours I work in one day. You know?
So anyway, on another subject, you know, you're over
I'm 44 years old. I can work as many hours.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll talk about that.
That's a dead issue.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
But threw me off.
It's all right. It probably wasn't true.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the 80 people.
Yeah.
The program that we were in,
80 years
they
old.
had.
It was smaller than
There
this.
was only 2 little TV rooms. That was it.
Yeah.
Other than that, outside.
Yeah.
There's a lot smaller than this.
Much smaller.
This area, our day area, is I think bigger than that whole.
Like longer.
It's definitely longer. Like you put it aside, it's definitely more square footage than that whole place was.
Those would be a good thing. That's all. That's all it was for.
Yeah, yeah. So
I mean, when I talked to you before I came into work, I asked if there were any more guys, and you said there was a total of 9. And that tripled from when I was here last week. Working.
I thought I expect to be a 40.
It's obviously the word out. People know what this place is here, especially working with the different ministries or whatever they have and stuff here. You know, it's just my only problem is taking somebody to detox and telling them that it's too late to get into detox. That's
Oh, I couldn't believe that happened.
Yeah, and I called 5 different places. If you don't have insurance,
You're not getting any detox. Yeah, and that's one of the frustrating things about San Antonio. And I'm sure it's like this in every city. I mean, some cities better than others, but You know, in 2 years, we lost 265 in publicly funded recovery grants, which translates out to the fact that if you have 10 guys that need to go to get into a bed for recovery, only three will make it. And so, yeah, they,
Yeah, I like that. So the next goal should be to find a place where this place is specifically happening.
well, yeah, I've thought about that. So the way things are going, it looks like I'm going to, in about 6 to 8 months, which I'm afraid to say that because I said 3 years because of the
Right, we may find out about it next week.
Well, I already know where the location is. I just have to get this running solid. And once I get that funding gap filled up and everything, we're going to be opening up a women's treatment that's going to be on
All on the other side of town.
Yeah. It's
I'm gonna do it. I got some more, but I'm an example of why women should not be near the treatment center.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds bad, but it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Right. But it's a distraction.
It's well, a lot of people replace their addiction with drugs with sex and they need love, right? You know, and I'm guilty of it in the past because I was never healthy in recovery. Never healthy. You know, and now it's crazy because I am finally for the first time in recovery spiritually fit. You know, and it makes me look at things completely different. Like I'm not a dog anymore. I'm not the one who used to have a sex addiction, you know, who had a love addiction back then. You know? Now everything has like come together and like I said, I'm an adult now. Like I can pay my bills myself. I pay bills. I pay a cell phone bill and I don't have to change my number 100 times. My mom told me one time, she said, actually when I got this phone number that I have now, she's like, do I erase the other 9 numbers you have in there? I'm like, oh wow. But that just goes to show that I've been stable enough to pay a phone bill. It's cheaper to go get a new phone. And now how things are, like I said, the AT&T, I've never been intimidated by a plan before. You know, and I'm good with that.
Right.
It's responsibility. I
It
like
is.
responsibility.
Yeah, it is. It's you know, I make sure my bills are paid on time.
Yeah.
And there's a few sometimes that kind of go out of my head. I have reminders.
You put post-its everywhere?
No, I have a lot.
There you go. That's a human post-it. Yeah, definitely a human post-it.
Because there's only one that I tends to leave my mind, and it's not that it's not my mind. I just get it's not a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
So I've gotten down to where I try to pay
What constitutes a weird day?
the 22nd.
So it's not like the first or the 15th?
Right.
Oh, so you're on that run, military.
No, it's just that's when I.
Yeah. Mine are all around.
Yours are all over too.
I'm glad we did this again. This is my 3rd time doing
Yeah,
this.
I like it, and I think what you and I have talked about in the past was that we wanted to start doing this more like during the week.
Yeah.
Have more of them. So this is where you guys come in. If you guys go to my website, scroll down, put your information in there. There's a section for comments. Comment and ask what you want us to talk about. Tell us what you want to hear.
I will do this. I already told you, I came up with that idea. I told you about it.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to do that.
I think it's a great idea, so we'll see if we get any kind of response.
Right. If we get a good response on it, and we go in order of who commented and go with theirs, so they're not put off with taking the line, because they'll be looking forward to seeing it the next week.
Okay.
Because it may be something that you're struggling with.
And if it's something that we're not going to address, we'll just read out and say no.
Of course you are, Tom.
Yeah.
Of course. Way to cut corners and deprive people of their requests.
Well, you could. I mean, it's something weird out that's not has nothing to do with recovery.
Well, of course it has to do with recovery. If you don't want to hear anything about recovery, then you're not in recovery.
Right.
You know? I mean, I talk about this every day. Even though I'm living alone in this house right now, I talk to my dog about recovery. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Now, so don't forget, everybody, that on the website, opportunityrecoverygroup.com. There's places there where you can donate to help support this place. What I would really like is my followers to do a $10 a month donation, because what $10 a month does, it'll provide laundry soap for somebody. There's something that it will go toward, and it will go toward saving lives. So I really am going to try to build that up, because that is a huge gap there. Right. You get enough people to do that, it fills a gap. And once, like I say, once we get this gap figured out and get the money figured out, we're going to proceed on with doing the women's place.
Well, it puts up the morale in the treatment center.
It does.
To where like, you know, I had somebody ask me for a raise. I'm like, well, right now, we don't have raises. You know, but to be able to be in a position to where anything that is needed is provided.
Exactly.
It's got to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll have the breakers tomorrow. I'm not sure I'll pick some up and all that stuff.
And laundry soap.
Well, I don't know. So.
We never had laundry soap.
I thought
I had a little bit.
No, there might be some.
There might be something. If there is,
I think there is.
but anyway, I have no problem with my guys.
Right, and if I need to, I'll pick some up. You know, of course, right now it's coming out of my pocket. You know, so I'm trying to do the best I can with what I got. Yeah, you know, I'll get some.
It's all about stepping outside the box.
Right, and so.
It doesn't matter if it comes out of my pocket right now, because
Well,
it's going towards a good cause.
Exactly, that's how I feel about it, and so, right, we'll talk more about that in a minute. So, next thing, don't forget to go to opportunityrecoverygroup.com and scroll down and ask us a question. Just ask us what you want to know, and we will gladly answer. I think that we're going to do, like maybe, well, we may record them and post them at a certain time later in the day.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. So as soon as I get a question, we'll get on there and answer. Y'all have a great day.
Yes.
No, hold on, what?
No. I like that we just do it live. Because we're freestyling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we can videotape it and then we watch it and be like, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, but we can't do it again.
Well, yeah, we can do it live, and we can put it out on the time, and people can get it, and they'll be able to get on the page and find it. Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. I like that. Everybody, y'all have a great week. We will see you next Saturday from either here or the studio.